Hi, my name is Angelica Brito. I'm a founder of A Brito Art and the Brush Collective, which is a community of artists that are helping each other grow.
So how did you get into art?
I got into art in middle school. I really started with drawing a bunch of trees, which is really random, but that's kind of something that was just, I don't know, entertaining for me. And then in ninth grade year, I bought a drawing tablet, which was like a last minute decision. I just saw a really good price, which was actually an error by the store's fault, but they kept with the price and anything. So then I really started drawing at that point when I got the drawing tablet, and then it kind of just went up from there.
My name is Amor Blocker, and I've been involved with art for most of my life. As a young child, I didn't live in the best atmosphere. I didn't live in the atmosphere where everyone and anyone can come in and be comfortable. It was quite rigid and very strict. So my mom always tried to get me away from that, so she put me in art classes. And so by the time I was 9, I was already in classes with adults who were trying to do this as a way of life. I was in classes with people who were just so professional on another level that he was like, hey, why is this little 9-year-old in class with them? Because my mom had always pushed art or pushed some form of expression. Art has just been this, I guess, this influential or this pivotal role, has a pivotal role in my life for a very long time.
Well, my name is Andy. I'm a student at MLEC. I'm a 9th grader. I was introduced to art when I was 5 years old. I was starting pre-K, and my art teacher, she told me that I had the potential to actually change the world if I wanted to. So I asked her how. She told me by art.
You might be like, oh, the art community is not that in depth, but there's just so many levels and layers on top of it. And you always try to stay with the people who best represent you, who challenge you, who push you forward, who try to make a difference in your life and those around them. You always try to find someone who inspires you to make something different, to make something stronger, to be more passionate, just to be overall the best artist you can be, because you can only be yourself. And the art community, although a lot of people are very different and a lot of people do different things, we're all just one big people, no matter how many different facets that we do have.
I've heard of some like illustrating agencies and comic book agencies that have actually not accepted people because of their race. And then like the artist community, we are very like about each other. So I've actually seen like them boycotting like one entire company just because they refused to hire an artist who was like definitely qualified, and they knew it was because of their race. So like I've seen this before, and I've known artists who have been parts of these like boycotts before, and we really support each other, and we don't take any racism. And even though race isn't necessarily like that represented, like minorities aren't that represented in the art community, those who are there are supported by the others.
Art can bring anyone together. That's the reason why we have Art Basel. That's the reason why we have public Art Basel, Art Deco, the Bake House Center down here in Miami. I just think that art plays such an influential, it influences Miami so much that no matter where you're from, you can be from Cuba, you can be from the Dominican Republic, you can be from Jamaica, Haiti. It just brings you together because we're just a swirl of colors.
There are, well, the majority, if you see, there's always going to be some positive or negative effect onto the art. But for the majority of the time, it's going to be positive. So I believe it will bring people together.
It affects their artwork. I would say their artwork is more steered to where they come from. Like the Invisible Man, I forgot the name of the man who did it, but it was something on the public Art Basel side, and it was of this man who was standing there with his hands up, and it had a mirror in the front, and in the back it was like a mountain. That man who actually created it, he was Japanese, and the reason why, it was actually based on the book that he wrote earlier, and it was talking about the people who are invisible in America. And so I think being a minority, being the smaller person, it allows you to break more boundaries. Like women, the glass ceiling. I think to me that's broken already, because we've accomplished so much, and we've done so much more than what our male counterparts have said that we can do in the past. So I think it just serves as like a boost to our art. It makes it much more passionate, much more has much more meaning. It's just so much more.
I believe it's both. I believe that art brings people together in certain cases, but there's other cases, like with provocative art or political art, that its sole purpose is to get people thinking and get people to form an opinion on a situation. Not necessarily the way that the artist feels, but it really is both ways. So after the Paris attacks, I was like really shocked, and like everybody in my family was shocked, and we were just like, everybody was just in like complete awe, like what in the world happened and how could this have happened? So that same night, the second I found out, I opened my paint program and I spent 4 hours making this, and it was really just a message to unity, and that this attack, instead of tearing people down, they sparked a flame in those, the survivors of the family and everything, to, like, not necessarily fight back physically, but like, we're not taking this, and we're not going to let you get away with this.
Well, I wouldn't say that they necessarily had a impact. Well, they probably impacted different people. However, there are still certain people where art doesn't really affect them. Like, you can't go up to someone and say, look at this piece of art, and how do you feel? And they might not feel anything. So I can't really say that the art that was created because of this, or because of the riots, or because of the shootings, was because brought people together. Sorry. I can't say that. But I can say that a lot of the people who say they didn't have a voice before, a lot of the people who felt like they were the invisible man, a lot of the people who feel like they're just lost and they're confused and they don't know what to do, that although it is tragic that what happened with Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, it is very tragic, the whole story, the whole situation, but that served as a catalyst almost. It gave them a voice. It gave them room to project.
Well, here in Miami, there's a huge diversity of people and cultures. So by bringing that Art Basel here, it would be the greatest thing, and it has been the greatest thing for these years. Most artists, for example, I think that I saw when I went to the Art Basel, that it was about the election and how Mexicans are supposedly taken away from their families. Some people actually thought that was nice and it was a huge piece. Others, well, they disliked it a bit because there were children there. But it depends of the viewer, how they see it.
But I think Miami is just a place of progression, and it always will be. So Art Basel represents that. And in Hong Kong, when they have it there, Hong Kong, it just means so much. In China, Hong Kong was actually there before China. It was the strongest place, and it means so much for them there. And Miami, Art Basel being here means so much for us now.
Seus filhos na terra, trazendo o bem e o amor. Ele é caboclo, é da mata, da cachoeira passou. Seus filhos na terra, trazendo o bem e o amor.